You won't believe who wrote me a letter. This is message 391 and day 45 in the 8C challenge, and this message is dedicated to our guest contributor today, Teddy Roosevelt. You may not know this, but I have correspondence with some pretty famous people who are gracious enough to respond to me. Some are by email, one by phone, but most are by via old-fashioned note and letter writing. I just received a letter back yesterday from one of my biggest heroes, the 26th President of the United States, Theodore Roosevelt. I wrote him about my mindset acrostic and how my first principle that action changes everything was inspired by him. I also told him about my daily audio messages I send to you, and if he ever had time to send me a few words of inspiration, if I could read them to you. He graciously replied, and like I said, I just received it yesterday. So here is President Roosevelt's letter. Chad has written to me about his daily messages he sends. I'm happy and honored to share a few words to pass along that may be beneficial to you this day. In the heart of every great endeavor lies a simple yet profound principle: action. It is action that shapes our destinies and defines our character. Allow me to share with you a belief that has guided me through life's trials and triumphs: the unwavering bias for action. From my earliest days, I've known the sting of adversity. As a sickly child, frail and asthmatic, I faced the daunting prospect of a life limited by my own body's constraints. Yet, it was my father who instilled in me the resolve to fight back. Quote, Theodore, you have the mind, but you do not have the body. You must make your body, end quote. These words ignited within me a fire, a relentless drive to push beyond my limitations. I embraced the rigors of physical exercise with fervor. I climbed mountains, trekked through forests, and rode tirelessly on horseback. It was not merely for the sake of health, but to prove that through action we can forge strength from weakness. This was my first lesson, that to overcome adversity, one must act decisively and persistently. Years later, as a young man, I ventured into the untamed Dakota territory, seeking solace after personal tragedy. It was there, amidst the harsh landscape, that I learned the value of resilience and initiative. The frontier did not reward the idle. It demanded constant effort and vigilance. Whether managing my cattle ranch or pursuing outlaws as a deputy sheriff, I understood that action was essential for survival and success. This was my second lesson, that in the face of uncertainty and danger, we must take bold steps forward. As President of the United States, I carried this philosophy into the highest office of our land. The square deal, the construction of the Panama Canal, and the establishment of national parks were not products of hesitation or indecision. They were born from a resolute commitment to act in the best interests of our nation. I did not wait for perfect conditions or unanimous approval. I seized opportunities to make meaningful change. This was my third lesson, that leadership demands action, often in the face of opposition and doubt. In your own lives, I urge you to adopt this bias for action. Do not be paralyzed by fear or uncertainty. Do not wait for a perfect moment, for such a moment rarely exists. Instead, seize the initiative. Take the first step, however small, and let each subsequent step build momentum. Remember, it is through action that we learn, grow, and achieve. It is through action that we turn dreams into reality and ideals into accomplishments. As I have often said, far better it is to dare mighty things, to win glorious triumphs, even though checkered by failure, than to rank with those poor spirits who neither enjoy much nor suffer much, because they live in a gray twilight that knows not victory nor defeat. So, my friends, embrace the spirit of action. Let it guide you through the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. For in the end, it is not the critic who counts, nor the timid soul who knows neither victory nor defeat, but the one who is bold enough to act and daring enough to dream. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. I will cherish this letter forever.